Morning. It is Wednesday, and it is June 7th, 2023, and I am here to hopefully do this in one take. My name is Pete Trackstrom, and I am an agent for Boardwalk Travel Agency, and you can reach me at letpeteplan@gmail.com. Today, we're going to talk about some tips, maybe some tricks on how to make it a less stressful vacation for you. There are so many people who complain when they get back from a Walt Disney World or even any long trip. Oh man, I need a vacation from my vacation because we're always on the go. We're going go. Well, that kind of leads me into my first tip. Understand, if you've never been to Walt Disney World or even Universal Orlando, you can't do it all in one shot. It'll take multiple shots to do it, and trust me, I've been going for probably, my first time was 1972, but then again, I'm not going to count that because 3 other parks have popped up since then. Then the next time was 94, and Animal Kingdom popped up again since then. But from 2008 pretty much till 2023, I've gone at least once a year. There are some years that I've missed because of either my son was having surgery, and then this thing called COVID hit, where although I planned the trip, I couldn't necessarily end up going on a trip because for a while it just was one of those things. Now, with that said, okay, what I'm trying to say is I've been a lot of times and I haven't done it all. I probably will never do it all. I doubt I'll ever stay at every resort. I've stayed a lot, but I've not stayed at all. Probably by the time I stay at a resort, a new resort, all the resorts, about 4 or 5 new resorts will pop up. That's not a prophecy. That's just a okay, maybe, type thing. So I can't do it all. So I got to pick and choose what I want to do. And I end up trying to do something new every trip. Recently, I shouldn't say, every. I have my old standards that I want to go and do almost every time I go. But I try to either eat at a new restaurant or a new restaurant to me. And in my next case, when I actually stay in a hotel, we're staying at a hotel that's new to us. Although we visited it and ate there, we've never spent the night at Yacht Club, and my wife and I are going to do that as a celebration of all the years that we haven't been able to just have a her and me type vacation. Well, so number 1, can't do it all. And number 2, know your limitations. Know what you can and cannot do financially, and set a small budget and say, okay, I'm only going to spend this much. You might end up breaking it. Don't trust me. I always say I'm not going to get another t-shirt, but somehow I always do. Or I'm not going to get another Jim Shore statue. Somehow I always do. But know your limitations. Know that physically, you're going to be, if you're not someone who walks daily, there's a lot of walking involved. Just understand that, and understand it before you go, so you might be able to build up a small routine. Train for Disney. It's just a different kind. I probably walk 4 to 5 miles every day on a regular day. When I'm at Disney, I might double that miles wise. Definitely steps wise, I'm always in the 20,000s when I go a full day at Disney. Even if I go a partial day like I did last Monday, I ended up in the 15,000s. And that's just the way it is. Simple as that. So know your limitations. With that, I also have to tell you, your shoes, make sure they're comfortable. Style should not win out on this one. You know that old Billy Crystal says, it's much better to look good than to feel good. No, not in this case. You want your feet to feel good, or at least not blistered and all that. I always wear socks, and with tennis shoes, and I suggest you do too. Now, I wear the no shows, so it protects my ankles from blisters. Now, not saying that blisters don't happen, just do. One thing I always carry in my bag is a small bottle of baby powder. I know that sounds kind of gross, but just every once in a while, spritz yourself down, and it'll help prevent a little chafing. So that's that. Number 4, and I'm gonna on my Facebook page yesterday, I asked for some hints, and I got some. I got some tips and tricks from other people. A couple people that I'm going to give a shout out to is Rebecca Schaefer and Misty Klein, and their families for cooperating with me. So one of the both of them had water. At Walt Disney World, almost every all of the quick service areas, you can get free water. However, if you have a palate like mine, it's not that great. I live in Central Florida, and I have to have something in my water. That's one thing Misty pointed out. Get some of those Propel drops or some of that powder and stuff, and just kind of mix it in and drink it that way. It makes the taste a lot better. Other things is you can bring your own water into the parks. You can even put it in a small cooler. And when I say small, it's pretty much a soft-shelled cooler with ice packs. It will be probably checked, at baggage check, but then again, so will almost every bag that you bring in, whether it's purse, camera bag, or whatever. So, with that said, that's a good one. Misty also said for that water, if you have Amazon Prime, they will deliver to your resort. and you will be able to pick it up. You dumb dog, come here. No, come on. I'm sorry. My dog had to stop for something and I had to scold her. Poor little Pluto. Yes, my dog is named Pluto. But with that said, now another thing that Missy said that was very important, especially if you have children who might be a little ADHD or and get bored easy, come up with things they can do in cues. Hidden Mickeys are always fun, and if you don't know what a hidden Mickey is, it's the little silhouette of a Mickey head. A lot of places almost every place in Walt Disney World, you can find them. Sometimes they're really big and bold, and you'd be hard pressed to call them hidden. The others are sometimes very tiny if you look on the ground stuff. But there are apps and there are books that are like little scavenger hunt type things. And with that, there are other games. In Epcot, you can play along with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And the Ducktail Gang. And on your My Disney Experience, Disney Play in Park or Play in the Park type thing, you'd have to look it up. That's pretty cool. We used to do it when it was themed to Phineas and Ferb, and we would, excuse me, my watch is asking me if I want to work out, and I thought it would have already figured that out. So those are some cool things to do, especially if you have those tweeners or teens that might not be so keen on being around Peter Pan or Dumbo, but would be if they had something to do. Another thing, as I said, know your limitations. Your resort. If you're staying at Walt Disney World Resort, explore it. They usually have some really cool things. Food, theming, activities. A lot of them show movies at night outside, either by the pool or somewhere else on the property. If you're staying fairly close to either Epcot or the Magic Kingdom, you might be able to catch the fireworks from those shows, night-ending shows, from the comfort of your own resort area. Like on the Polynesian, they have the beach area right there. If you're up high enough in the Contemporary and your room faces the theme park, now that's a fairly expensive room, of course. You can definitely watch it. But with that said, those are some options. There are other options. If you're staying at Fort Wilderness, there's always tons of things to do during the day, even at night, especially during the holidays. A lot of the cabins or even campsites, they decorate themselves, and it's kind of a little winter wonderland or a spooky trail that you can experience. And then if you have explored your own resort, there are other resorts, and take the time to visit them too if you can. They have gotten a little bit more strict on who can come to the actual resort. If you're driving in, one way we found a way to get around it is if we're at a park and we want to, because usually we're parked at the park, figure that one out, is then get on a bus or another form of transportation and head over to other resorts, and then come back to the whatever park you're at and pick up the car and head home, or head back to the resort, whatever resort, if you're in your own car, or wherever, however you're getting home, or wherever you're going. And with the idea of parking at the resorts, you have to have a reservation either at the resort to stay or at one of their restaurants. For, say, like we're at the yacht club, we're going to have a reservation at the yacht club, but in other times we've parked there, and it's because we've had a reservation at like Ale and Compass, and so that's part of it. The other thing is, and this is a little warning, can't park there all day. Can't like just park at Yacht Club and then just walk on over to Epcot and stuff. I usually go into there are times when where I have we've ate at Ale and Compass, and I've let my wife and my son walk over into Epcot while I just drove the car and met them up at like Spaceship Earth or something. So that's that. And the last thing I'm really going to talk to you about, and I'll revisit some of these and add to them as the days go on. One way to keep yourself positive is to be positive, is to be kind. Be kind to cast members. They got sometimes a thankless job. There are places on My Disney Experience where you can give a shout out to an individual cast member. That's not always necessary, but sometimes it's very well received. If you're nice to people, they'll be nice to you sometimes. And if they're not, just remember, you're at the happiest place in the world. Act it. Be kind. There are a lot of reports out there that people are not being as kind as they should be at Walt Disney World, whether they're getting in fights or complaining about one thing or another. Then don't go. I know that sounds bad from a travel agent's standpoint, but if you're not going to enjoy it, don't go. Simple as that. It is, as a couple t-shirts have said, one of the most expensive days you'll ever spend, but it's also one of the best. And it doesn't have to be as expensive as you think. And when you put it in comparison to other things that you would do anyway, I don't want to say it evens out, but it definitely just not that. My wife and I looked at each other one time and said, we do go a lot, I said, yeah, but we don't do other things that other families do, like go to the beach every year, which is not a problem. If you want to go to the beach, go to the beach. Don't get me wrong. Go to the mountains or whatever. Just understand this is what I do, my family does, and we love it. Well, with that said, if you find yourself wanting to make that trip, whether it's to Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, contact me, Pete Draxstrom, and you can reach me at letpeteplan, all one word, all lowercase, at gmail.com. That's letpeteplan at gmail.com. And I am an agent for Boardwalk Travel Agency, and I look forward to helping you plan your next vacation. Till next time, have a magical time. Goodbye.